Okay, so in this video, we are going to work to decompress the medial portion of that MTP. All right, the first thing we need to do for that is a lot of times there is soft tissue restriction that makes it to where that big toe does not want to move laterally or move away from the second toe. Okay, so it needs the ability to do that. So that's the soft tissue piece. Then there's also a joint piece where I need to block the distal portion of that first ray, and then I want to try and take that big toe down and away. So we're actually getting a relative joint mobilization whenever we do that to ultimately get to where that first ray is straightforward, and ultimately our clients can kind of push off their big toe. Now, in order to do this, I just kind of grab the big toe with my assisting hand. I will come onto basically just prior to that joint line, and then I'll sink onto that joint line as I take the big toe down and away. All right, and I immediately get a nice little soft tissue restriction there. Okay, so I could either just do that kind of passively, or I could have her try to lift her big toe up towards the ceiling. Hard for her to do in this position, and let it go. And then I could just continue to work on those soft tissues. It's really good right there. Don't let me push, don't let me take your big toe further down. We got a nice little cavitation there, accidental, and let it go. Okay, to where we're really working on freeing that up, and that will be tender on a lot of people. The good news is that tenderness typically doesn't go into the next few days. So if they can tolerate you, put up with it, most of the time, they're not going to be screaming your name afterwards. All right, so that is more of the soft tissue piece. Now the joint piece is if I get here and I block the base of that, or block the distal portion of that MTP with my finger, then I can take the big toe down and away on that diagonal that I was talking about before. And now from there, most of this force is coming from the end of that MTP not wanting to stay put, okay? So it's not that I'm moving the big toe as much as I'm actually relatively blocking through my index finger there, right there. And now don't let me push your big toe down. And let it go. So in order to get all this to open up, we've got to actually mobilize from behind there. And again, don't let me move you. And let it go. And it just popped again. Okay, so that is how to do soft tissue work to decompress the medial portion of that MTP, as well as kind of relatively mobilize that joint through a functional mobilization in order to get the big toe to sit more here rather than there.